All right, so move on to the final segment. I'll be sharing my top 5 WWE SummerSlam matches in WWE history. So this is my own personal list, my own top 5 WWE SummerSlam matches of all time. I'll be going through number 1, starting off at number 1, going all the way down to number 5 in this segment for you guys. So, in my opinion, the greatest SummerSlam match of all time is CM Punk versus Brock Lesnar. That no-holds-barred match that took place in the summer of 2013 at SummerSlam. Now, this was the only match that CM Punk and Brock Lesnar had against each other, surprisingly, in their WWE careers. And they made the most of it. The magic was there in the summer of 2013. It was the best in the world, CM Punk versus the Beast incarnate Brock Lesnar, with Paul Heyman by Brock Lesnar's side. And remember, it was Paul Heyman that turned on CM Punk that summer because CM Punk came back as a babyface and told Paul Heyman he no longer needs him. So Paul Heyman costed him the Money in the Bank contract, and then we fast forward to SummerSlam, getting CM Punk versus Brock Lesnar at the time. And it was a great 25-minute match filled with back-and-forth action. There was some weapons being involved. There's chair shots. You had some submissions of CM Punk putting the Anaconda Vice on Brock Lesnar. You had Brock Lesnar applying the Kimura armbar lock. You had a lot of near falls. CM Punk hitting the GTS and Brock Lesnar hitting the F5. But then, towards the end of the match, you got to see CM Punk put his hands on Paul Heyman. And then it was Brock Lesnar that took advantage of it, helped his advocate, or his manager, with then Paul Heyman, then with Brock Lesnar hitting an F5 on this chair, CM Punk landing headfirst on the chair with Brock Lesnar picking up the 1-2-3 pinfall for the victory. Brock Lesnar walking out of SummerSlam victorious that year with CM Punk unsuccessful. But it's crazy to me that's the only time we ever got Punk versus Lesnar in a wrestling ring. They made the most of it, and I think that's the best SummerSlam match of all time for the magic that they had together in 2013. But next on the list, there's another SummerSlam match that was the main event that year that sparks interest to me as one of the best SummerSlam matches of all time. Number 2 on the list will be John Cena versus Daniel Bryan for the WWE Championship at SummerSlam 2013. Now, this match, Cena versus Bryan and Punk versus Lesnar, truly carried SummerSlam 2013. They were the best matches on the card and the most hyped up matches for the event, and both of those matches lived up to the hype. And I think one, again, Lesnar and Punk is the greatest SummerSlam match of all time. Cena and Bryan for the WWE Championship is number 2. And Daniel Bryan, just like CM Punk, Shawn Michaels, AJ Styles, those wrestlers truly brought the best in-ring performances out of John Cena during John Cena's illustrious Hall of Fame career. But this match between Cena and Bryan, there was a lot of great in-ring wrestling mixed with counters, different submission holds. But in the end, it was Daniel Bryan that landed the head kick on Cena, landing the Shining Wizard, the knee strike, whatever you want to call it, Daniel Bryan's finisher. And Daniel Bryan got over on John Cena, won the WWE Championship, and then the moments that it transpired afterwards was very crazy. With Triple H, he was a special guest referee. Randy Orton teasing a Money in the Bank cash in, only to turn around for Bryan to celebrate with confetti and everything going off. Triple H pedigreeing Daniel Bryan, only for Orton to pick up the scraps to win the WWE Championship. One of the craziest cash-ins in Money in the Bank history, with Triple H turning heel and Randy Orton turning heel and starting the Authority faction during the PG era. That was one of the best nights during the PG era, and definitely one of the most shocking during the PG era after the match concluded between Cena and Bryan. But I think that match is number 2 on the greatest SummerSlam match of all time, mixed in with what happened after the match, what makes it even more special. But third match on my list would be the Hardy Boys versus the Dudley Boys versus Edge and Christian TLC triple threat tag match at SummerSlam 2000. Now, at the time, this was a WrestleMania 2000 rematch that featured all 3 of these tag teams in the first ever tables, ladders, and chairs match. This was a TLC rematch. This was actually the first TLC match in SummerSlam history. And all 3 of these tag teams, all 6 of the wrestlers brought their A game and brought the brought the best out of each other during this match. And oh my gosh. Sorry, guys. But this was a great tag team match. All 3 of these tag teams were in the prime of their careers. Another classic, a lot of insane table spots, ladder spots, and chair shots during the match. But it was Edge and Christian that won the remained the tag team champions. And just like WrestleMania earlier in the year, they won the rematch against the Hardy Boys and the Dudley Boys. The three greatest tag teams of all time, just always mix it up well with each other when they got the opportunity to work well with each other. Number 4 on my list would be The Undertaker versus Edge, Hell in a Cell at SummerSlam 2008. Now, actually, I went back and rewatched this match between The Undertaker and Edge, Hell in a Cell at SummerSlam 2008. I think that's one of the greatest SummerSlam matches of all time. Now, this was actually a classic, and the rivalry between The Undertaker and Edge that played out in 2008 was one of the best rivalries that we've seen on SmackDown at the time. And they had battles for the World Heavyweight Championship. They had their WrestleMania 24 main event match, the match at Backlash, Judgment Day, the TLC match, and then the rivalry ended perfectly inside Hell in a Cell. But this match was brutal. You had Edge spearing The Undertaker through the Hell in a Cell door, making sure the action can transpire and spill out to the outside of the cage. You had the spear spot where Edge speared The Undertaker through the announcer's table, basically hurtling over 2 announce tables to spear The Undertaker through the ECW announce table. You had The Undertaker choke slamming Edge, putting him through 2 tables on the outside of the ring. Edge smashing The Undertaker with the several spears, and then you had Undertaker smashing Edge's head in with the camera. Played back to how the rivalry started in 2007, or how it really continued with Edge costing The Undertaker his Hell in a Cell match against Batista. Then you had The Undertaker pulling a move out of Edge's playbook with the Concerto shot, with The Undertaker ending the match with a tombstone pile driver. And even after the match, Undertaker drilled Edge through the ring and put him out of action for months on SmackDown at the time. But I think that match really brought the best out of The Undertaker and Edge. If you haven't seen that match, go back and rewatch it. I think that's definitely the best match of Edge and The Undertaker's rivalry that they had. And I don't know if they ever wrestled each other again after that. I think they did briefly, but man, that was a perfect way to end the rivalry back in 2008, that Hell in a Cell match. I'm telling you guys, go back and watch that match. That was actually a really good match. And last on my list at number 5, I will put Triple H versus Shawn Michaels in the unsanctioned street fight match that took place at SummerSlam 2002. Now, I think SummerSlam 2002 was the greatest SummerSlam of all time. And one of the reasons of that is because this match between Triple H and Shawn Michaels in the unsanctioned street fight match. And it was Shawn Michaels coming back from a 4-year layoff after the broken back injury. We never seen Shawn Michaels in the ring prior to this moment when he broke his back. And his last match was against Stone Cold Steve Austin, I think at WrestleMania 13 or 12. And with Mike Tyson as the referee, but it never played out. It never lived up to the hype or the expectations that you would have gotten at that time in the Attitude Era with Shawn Michaels and Stone Cold Steve Austin wrestling for the WWF title. But this was a great comeback match for Shawn Michaels, coming off that 4-year layoff with a broken back. And Triple H played the heel character perfectly in this match against Triple H. And Triple H was exposing Shawn Michaels' back. Again, the real-life back injury that Shawn Michaels sustained. Triple H was exploiting his back with backbreakers, throwing Shawn Michaels back into the turnbuckles. And weapons were used like ladders in this match and sledgehammers and several other weapons. And Shawn Michaels hit the flying elbow on Triple H off the ladder. The match ended with Triple H trying to hit the pedigree on Shawn Michaels countering, hitting the roll-up pin on Triple H to win his first match since coming out of retirement. And then Triple H, being the heel, the cerebral assassin he was, and taking out Shawn Michaels with the sledgehammer and making sure Shawn Michaels did not walk away on his own feet that night. Came out of SummerSlam with leaving in a stretcher. So I think those are my top 5 SummerSlam matches. I think that was a pretty good list for you guys. But that is all the time I have for you guys today. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. There's your host, Thomas Tyree, signing off. And I'll see you guys on next week's episode.